At this time, I'm pleased to introduce our special guest and industry speaker, Mathias Carlbaum. Mathias is the president and CEO of Navistar International Corporation. He's also a member of Traton SE Executive Board. He's held various leadership roles with Scania, working in diverse markets like Latin America, Spain, and Portugal. In his previous role, he was heading the sales and service operations consisting of 700 owned dealer and 1,000 independent dealers. His expertise in sales and international markets gives him a unique perspective of the commercial truck industry in a changing world. Please give a warm ATD welcome to Mathias Carlbaum. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott, and congratulations on your new role as ATD chairman. I'm truly convinced that you're the right person at the right place at the right moment. As an international and IC bus dealer, you're always leading by example, participating in new technologies, and of ways of increasing your business. It's an honor for me to be here today after 25 years working at, with, and through dealers to be here speaking to the largest and most powerful commercial vehicle body in the world, the American truck dealers. Thank you, ATD, for this opportunity you've given me today. But today, it will be all about electrification. Electrification has to be seen as an opportunity. It is an opportunity for all of us, and here's why. Electrification will provide new ways to do business, new ways to approach our customers, and new ways to expand your business in a way that has never been possible before. You know, I've dedicated my career to commercial truck retailing, and I've always tried to think as you, as a dealer. And when having worked with dealers in more than 8 countries over the last 25 years, I found that successful dealers, wherever you are in the world, have a lot in common. First of all, you're devoted to your customers. The relationships you have with your customers is unique, independently of sector we work within. You're trusted, you're true business partners, and many times beyond that, you're their friends. You meet them daily and often in difficult and tough moments, and you're always there to offer and find solutions. Secondly, you're never complacent. You're always striving to improve your business at the work floor, in the boardroom, wherever you are, you're always there to improve your business daily. And you have this entrepreneurial spirit, just like you, Scott. You know that change can be hard, but it's in these moments you set your own foundation to grow and to prosper. So, customer dedication, continuous improvements, and entrepreneurships. These skills, which you as successful dealers have, will carry you very far in this transformation our sector is about to experience. Oscar Horton here on the stage yesterday, as the exiting winner of the truck dealer, said that the coming 10 years will bring changes we've never seen before. It will. The coming 10 years, our sector will change more than it has in the past 100. And that change comes very much around electrification. Some of you in this room might still be thinking, will it really happen now? Is now the moment? It is. Let me try to explain why we see it so. Number one, of course, the increased regulations, the accelerating demands since the Paris Agreement, the greenhouse gas regulations, the carbon taxes, cities around the world taking lead in the future of setting pollution policies, but also financial investors regulating companies towards ESG investments. Second, the market demand. It's already here. And be assured that the coming generation, here, some present with us today, I heard a baby just, will put completely new demands on us. I mean, my own children, what they're asking for me, about how we should take care of the environment, recycling, electrical cars, well, they are the consumer of tomorrow. And third, but not least, technology. The EV batteries just continue to get better and better and cost less. The cost of lithium batteries have declined by 90% since 2010. And in 4 to 5 years, we have solid-state batteries here with us. And although EVs currently are more expensive, these improvements in technology and the increased volumes will bring TCO advantage to electric vehicles within 4 to 7 years, depending on which application. Everything is already happening in the passenger cars. Well, we just need to go over to the immense convention center when NADA is underway. Look at all the exhibitors, how EV-focused they are. Sessions around us, we can participate in the super session, for example, the EV opportunity for dealers. Well, my own is about it also. It's the topic of the day and the future. So, commercial truck industry is definitely ideally suited to do more for reducing greenhouse gases than any other industry. Why is it so? Well, we do account for 23% of the greenhouse gases from the transportation sector. And the business rationale for our customers will make so much sense. Hence, the time to prepare for the biggest transformation in industry is right now. It's moving so fast, and many of us might not realize the speed of which this change is coming. What many of us here think still is far away is actually happening right now. And to act tomorrow will be too late. We need to act today. So when electrification becomes the norm, you are in the well-deserved pole position to win this race. And as you start to build your action plan, there are 4 things I would like you to be thinking about. Number 1, zero emission is coming sooner than you ever think. Number 2, infrastructure challenges are real, but they are and will be resolved. Number 3, think about new business models. And number 4, where can we actually start today? Let me try to take you through a little bit deeper in each of these 4 subjects. That zero emission is coming sooner than you think. Clearly, all major OEMs have agreed that electrification is the course of action. It's the future. In 2020, the global automakers believed that up to 2025, they would invest $225 million in electrical vehicle capex. Today, 2 years later, we see that the expenditures up to 25 will be north of 330, and it's increasing as we speak. Anecdotally, for those of you who saw the Super Bowl, maybe you noticed that 6 of the 7 car brands that ran commercials were about EVs. So clearly, the money is flowing in that direction. And the EVs are getting a global support. There's an accord through the Paris Agreement to address the climate change. We're watching the Biden plan to achieve net zero emissions economy-wide no later than 2050. OEMs, such as ours, Traton, has a clear target by 2040 to be carbon zero. And it's estimated by 2030 that the zero carbon solutions could be competitive in sectors representing over 70% of the global emissions. So let me share some insights from the research we've been doing at Navistar. Battery electric power will be competitive with diesel across all key metrics for all major applications. It's just a matter of time. Hydrogen fuel cell electrical vehicles, which are more flexible than battery electrical vehicles, will also play a role in specific applications and markets during a period of time. On the global map, it's in the US we find the strongest case for BEVs, and it's driven by the intense usage of long-haul trucks. The biggest advantage shown here as a reduction in cost per mile will come through in long-distance Class 8, believe it or not. We're looking at, in a period of time before 2030, of ranges about 400 to 450 miles, battery capacity of 1 mega, and charging below 45 minutes on mega charging stations that will be out there in 45 years. The infrastructure challenges are real, but they are and will be resolved. The infrastructure is, of course, the critical enabler for all of this. There's an urgent need to align the national charging strategies and the vehicle developments so they arrive together, especially for long haul. And there are two things to consider here when it comes to charging. It's the actual charging and the capacity of the existing grid to support this increase of energy demand. Let me start with the power grid. The $73 billion in infrastructure bill will be a key driver to success. Or should I say, when this is materialized, this will put US in the global lead for EV charging. Currently, individual states are being encouraged to present their infrastructure plans to the federal government. The other one is charging. And I'm not worried about the charging infrastructure. Money is finding its way, and it's finding its way fast. A couple of examples from the OEM side. The initiative in Europe, which Traton, Volvo, and Daimler initiated to put in $500 billion as an injector and a kickstart to electrification of commercial vehicles, has started. And here in the US, we see likely a good example of BlackRock, Daimler, and NextEra doing the same with $650 million, and more will come. In these projects, in the one I'm familiar with and close to in Europe, the investment amount wanting to come into this project is almost 10 times what we've put in, just 3 to 6 months after announcing this, mainly from oil companies and investment funds. We do believe that the full electrification of the US heavy-duty truck market will require roughly 20,000 public high-speed charging points of 1 mega, having a distance of 100 and 150 miles between the points, and each station having 10 to 15 charging points. This cost, even if it sounds high, the value, it will be not more than $20 billion. Compared to the investments that I just mentioned, already today, car manufacturers or vehicle manufacturers putting in $350 billion. Of course, money will find its way to charging. But also, bear in mind that the process of installing this charging infrastructure can take all from 2 to 5 years. So when planning starts, so lead time will be crucial to actually be planning before the demand is there. Third, we need a business model to profitably support the new products that are about to come. There's a lot of concerns, of course, among dealers and among everybody about electrical. Will part sales decrease? Yes. As an OEM, we estimate that the part sales on a tractor head will decrease by about 50%. Heard yesterday about new future franchise models. Well, my personal opinion is that more than ever, we need the skills of dealers to do these complicated sales and stand by our customers. But let me share some other views. While our traditional truck retailing business models won't let us take advantage of these new values that come from this transformation. But is there a future for dealer operations? Definitely, there certainly is. And I would like to share a proof point that, as mentioned here by Scott, in my previous role, I led 700 owned dealer groups by the company I worked with, which was Scania. More than $12 billion in revenue. And in the last 5 years, we invested more than ever into our dealerships, expanding our footprint and investing in the current sites. Because within the Traton Group and in Navistar, we do believe in the future of dealership business, and we will act together to monetize on that. You need this business model that grows with you, that's flexible enough to see your dealership through this transition and enable sustainable business growth. And one thing is certain in this transformation, that connected vehicle and data will be core to elaborate these new solutions. Data will be used for zero-emission sales consulting, but also to increase your service proactiveness. Because the higher asset investment for our customers into electrical vehicles and the lower operational cost of the same vehicles will further increase the importance of uptime. We need to have the mindset of shifting from repairing vehicles to offering and selling uptime guarantees. Uptime will be the new currency of the future. Your work needs to be fully proactive, using data to be one step ahead, anticipate the problems before they ever occur. We've heard a lot about training. Nobody has been on this stage without mentioning Steve, Oscar, Scott, Carrie. Make sure to have your technicians ready with these skill sets. Have you done it before? Yes, you have. It was very much like 10, 15 years ago with the introduction of software in the vehicles. Data will also open opportunities for battery analytics. Battery analytics to maximize your customer's performance and secure the condition of the battery at the end of the first life usage. Because there's a huge revenue pool around the second life of batteries. Remember that the batteries account for about 2/3 of the value of a new vehicle. And after 5 to 6 years of usage, the deterioration level is surprisingly low, just about 10%. How can you monetize on that? These batteries will be incredibly attractive on the used market for energy storage, standby power, and much, much more. Coming back to charging again, we've talked about charging infrastructure on national level. But what about opportunities in your business? Will you be doing service charging only, or will you be offering public charging? You need to figure it out. Depending on your location, depending on your investment capability, or depending if you want to do this on your own or with partners. Will it be at your dealership? Will it be at another location? Because also when selling this EV solution, will you also bundle charging solutions to that? I have experiences already, some years ago, when doing this the first times. Who does the customer come to when it doesn't work? They'll come to you. Not to the utility company, not the electrical company. They'll come to you. So be ahead and offer this, and there will be opportunities also to monetize on that. I personally received an advice, which I thought strange, more than 4 years ago when I was running my operation, to secure the grid capacity of our current sites, and to consider the capacity when investing in new sites. How many in this room know that where you're located today, that there's grid and capacity enough to have a mega charger? I didn't ask you to raise hands, but I don't think that many hands would have come up. It's something we need to know. These talks, you need to work collaboratively with your local government agencies and utility companies to understand the regional grid strengths and what loading capacity you have access to. Another important determinator will be asset financing, more than ever before. Onboard the finance team early to understand the ins and outs of financing EVs to bundle the electrical solution when it comes to vehicle service, battery management, insurances, residual values, and soon, not that far away, vehicle as a service. The revenue pool ahead of us in this transformation is massively bigger than in current technology. We must together find ways to explore these opportunities. But where can we start? How should dealers prepare today for what's to come, apart from some of the things I mentioned? Remember that with these new business opportunities, you as entrepreneurs know that there comes risks. But there's no point to push them around between the OEM, the dealer, the finance company, the customer's customers. We all need to find ways to distribute this risk, to manage it, and to mitigate it. Because rest assured that there are many out there, today unknown players, that are circling around this business opportunity like wolves around the prey. And they're just waiting, and they will take the first opportunity to take this from us. Let us be prepared. Let us be the first movers. Let us leverage in all these strengths that you have when we explore the future of opportunities. All the OEMs have invested in our zero-emission efforts to help dealers and customers to get the first-hand feel for what the future holds. Tap in. Tap in as much as you can into this. Make sure to be this early adopter. Learn in small scale. before electrification gains scale and magnitude. Be ready before it hits the tipping point when we reach the cost parity to diesel, because then it goes fast. And the market will shift, I would say, overnight. Read the white papers on the transition to zero-emission commercial vehicles. Plan for the models for the future that allows a sustainable success through zero emissions, through autonomous, and what comes beyond. And I must say that ATD is an amazing resource. Exchange these experiences between you dealers representing different OEMs. Take the best bits and pieces from each of the OEMs and put it together to your winning concept. The most important of all, be closer than ever before to your customers. We're wandering into uncertain terrain where trust and transparency will be more important than ever. No one expects anybody to have all the answers, but we do have to move forward, and we have to do it together. The OEM, the dealer, new partners we don't know of today, our customers, and again, our customers' customers. Just let me wrap up with some conclusions. I urge you today to take this opportunity that electrification brings. Together, we can transform the transportation industry. We can reverse our dependency on fossil fuels that are harmful for the environment and for the stability in the world. And be part of this new era of vibrant, sustainable growth. And please remember that however worrisome and frightening the transformation ahead of us might be, taking sustainable action is the smartest thing we can do. As business people, our hope is to pass a viable business to our children. As responsible adults, we care about the generations who come after us. And as agents of positive change, we work every day to shift our world to green energy sources. So together, our shared vision must be to leave the next generation a better planet in which everybody can thrive and live their best life. Thank you so much for your attention.